Namaste, everyone. Welcome. Thank you for being here in this practice together. Invite your palms to rest on your lap. And as you choose your seat, invite your base to settle. So take a couple of moments to arrive. Feeling your bones in contact with the support. Feel your organs inside your pelvis. And slowly, as we start this journey inward, give yourself the opportunity and the time to feel the breath brushing inside your belly, the movement of your diaphragm, and the time also to give yourself a little bit more space physically, mentally, and emotionally. The seat is tall, elegant, attentive, yet is also soft, relaxed, and calm. And then see if you can create a gentle space between your eyelids and your eyeballs. And imagine or invite the eyeballs to recede towards the back of your head and to gaze down towards the heart center, but almost like if you wanted to go through the heart center to be able to see your back. As we do that, we let the back of the neck and the head to stay tall, finding the length of the spine, relaxing the shoulders. So today we are going to try and work with slow breath. Slow breath is related to water, and slow breath is related to the parasympathetic nervous system. What does this mean? Is that when we are attuned to the rhythm of the breath and we move slowly, we are inviting our nervous system to pause, to find more balance, to feel safe. Fast breath, as an opposite, is related to fire, the element of fire. So when we are breathing fast, what we are igniting or activating is the sympathetic nervous system, which is related more to the response of fight and flight, or to the fire that is related to anxiety, perhaps fear. So today we'll try and work throughout the whole practice with the element of water and the idea of slow rhythm in the breath. As a mantra for today, I'll just repeat a mantra that is short from one of my compassionate teachers, Jack Kornfield, that I've been sharing this week. If you want, you can silently repeat it or the way you want, following it. Breathing in, I calm my body. Breathing out, I calm the mind. May I be balanced. May I be at peace. Breathing in, I calm my body. Breathing out, I calm the mind. May I be balanced. May I be at peace. Breathing in, I calm my body. Breathing out, I calm the mind. May I be balanced. May I be at peace. Breathing in, I calm the body. Breathing out, I calm the mind. May I be balanced. May I be at peace. Last one. Breathing in, I calm the body. Breathing out, I calm the mind. May I be balanced. May I be at peace. Take a moment to bring both your palms to rest into the solar plexus. So I'm just letting both my palms, one on top of the other, rest right at the center of the heart. And as you feel that connection, take a moment to set the intention for your practice. Visualize that intention and perhaps yourself moving through this practice today to find what you are looking for and feel the way you want to feel at the end of this journey. And we bring the palms together with the thumbs resting right in front of the altar of the heart. And we open with the Om sound, inhaling deeply. Big exhale. Then breathing in again. Then a moment to connect the head, the hands, the heart, the three together. Releasing the palms when ready, lifting the head and opening the eyes. Welcome everyone again. Thank you for being here. I'm moving to the mat so we can start. So we are going today, if you just jumped in or when I was already starting, take a blanket and put it on top of your mat so you can cover it, and your mat will become a little bit more soft, of course, and padded, but also will be able to slide more to do the next set of exercises. We are going to come onto our backs like if we were taking Shavasana, but I want you to have your belt or strap or scarf close by so you can use it in a little bit, okay? So first we are coming onto our backs, and we are going to let the legs be a little wide so they are not completely touching each other. Let them just drop to the sides. And let your arms also go to the sides. It can be a T letter, it can be elbows bent, or just a little bit in a diagonal or in a V shape for the arms, okay? So from here, just let the whole back plane of your body drop into your mat. And in this moment that we are starting with an opportunity to pause and to feel the support underneath, notice the weight of your bones dropping onto the floor. And again, today, the opportunity to create a rhythm where there is like a dance connection through the breath to help our bodies be benefited by this practice by creating what we really define as a vinyasa practice. So it's the combination, the flow of the movement with the breath. So notice your body here, any tingling, any throbbing, any pulsations, any aches, or perhaps any areas that feel more pounded than others as we enter the practice. Good, then slowly, after taking notes, we are going to start by bending one knee. I'm not going to say which one, you pick the one that goes first and I'll try to guide you there either way. Okay, so the knee that it's bent, you're going to gently press that foot onto the mat, and that same side arm will go up overhead. Okay, the other arm can stay to the side, and from here we are going to gently let that knee drop towards the opposite leg as we start creating an arch and stretching that same side arm up overhead. And then we slowly return towards the supine with the knee pointing up to the skies. We'll take a few of those on the same side. So again, I'm slowly letting the leg drop, the knee drop towards the opposite leg, stretching the other arm up and away from the rest of the body, and then return. Good. 3 more like this, and I'm not saying when you inhale or exhale because it doesn't really matter. Make it natural for you, but create a rhythm. So you really go with that connection of both, and we start slowly activating the side body, our groins, gluteal muscles, and access our organs as well. Good, let's go again. Creating that stretch, that action in the leg, and coming back. Good, once you return to center, release that arm and leg back to the neutral position. And then we'll switch, bringing the right foot, my right foot, but the opposite leg, bending the knee, and the same side arm, I'm going to extend it, and then slowly I'm going to let that foot start dropping into the inner line, so I can drop the knee to the opposite side and stretch the arm up. And then I'm coming back to center. 4 more like that. Going again, like I said, at your own pace. And remember that today this practice is about slow, about water. So we are trying to almost feel like if you are creating a synchronized movement, right? Like the synchronized swimmers, and you're really getting into the flow of the water without forcing, without going fast. Using the breath to calm the body, to soften the speed of the mind. Good. After the last one, we return back to the neutral position. Good. And now we are going to add a different movement. With the right leg now, we'll go into the tree pose. So I'm sliding that right foot alongside my left inner leg. And then I'm just going to return, same leg. Same side, we do 2 more. Inhaling, just bringing that right foot up the left leg towards the tree or Baddha Konasana shape, and then we re-extend. Don't force it, you don't have to push super high that knee up, right? So you go wherever it goes, and it feels like you're creating opening in that groin and hip flexor. Perhaps you feel it in your outer hip, and then returning, taking a breath. And then we'll switch for 3 times on the opposite side. So that sole of the left foot will slide up, keeping the knee and the outer leg sliding up and down your blanket. And then again. And 1 more. Good. Then we'll take both at the same time for 3 times. Inhaling, slowly coming towards the butterfly shape. And then with the exhale, re-extend. 2 more. Inhaling, just sliding, trying to make the soles of the feet touch or more or less to keep that shape. And then re-extend. And 1 more. And back towards the neutral. Good. Then we are going to bend both knees and place both feet on the mat. And I'm going to still keep my arms to the sides and just gently let both knees drop to the right. And then coming back, slowly going the other way and adding that arch in the lower back to center, both feet pressing down. Same thing, both knees to one side. Maybe we add a little bit more of the stretching action of the opposite arm, going away from the shoulder, then returning. Both knees to one side, opposite arm lengthening away from the chest. And back to center. Let's go again. Both knees to one side, opposite arm lengthens, and I'm going perhaps a little deeper in that arch in the lower back, returning. And then the other side, same thing, letting the knees drop, returning. Let's take one last one. And if you want, besides the stretch of the arm, you can also externally rotate the arm and send the palm down to the floor and maybe stretch through the fingertips. And then returning to the neutral, only 1 more. Same idea, I'm extending and I'm also rotating my arm, what we call externally. So I'm going back, trying to touch perhaps the floor there, and back to center. Take a breath in. Slow exhale to soften and calm our system. Good, now I'm going to lace the fingers, bringing the hands behind the skull, and a very gentle undulations movements here to do like the cat-cow. So I'm going to inhale, arching the lower back, opening the chest. With the exhale, I'm going to not only bring the navel in and lift a little bit through the elbows and the back of the head, but I'm also, I don't know if you can see, but I'm also letting my tailbone lift like 1 inch off the mat. So I'm going just a little bit up, and then I'm returning with the arching, the cow shape, and with the exhale, lengthening the back of the skull, lifting a little bit that sacrum in, and feeling that sensation of lifting off the mat, perhaps 1 inch or half an inch, and then returning, inhale, and exhale. 1 more, same thing, inhaling, opening up, perhaps the chin a little further up, and exhaling, elbows towards each other, lifting that sacrum in, just a little bit off the mat, and coming back. Good, from here I'm going to add again the arch with a little change. This time, as I'm lengthening and bringing navel in, I send both elbows to one side. So there's a lateral rotation here, then back to center, and releasing into the inhalation, the arch. Exhale, rounding like the cat pose, coming up, elbows to the opposite side, slowly returning to center and back down. We go 1 more time, inhaling, exhale, notice sensations here, activating the core, moving to one side, and then slowly returning to take the last one. Inhale, exhale, rounding, perhaps a tiny lift from the sacrum, and then going to the second side, lateral opening, returning, and back, releasing. Good. From here, we're going to release the arms, release the legs, and just windshield wiper, but your feet and your legs, but in and out. So it's like the toes want to say hi to each other, and then out. And you move slowly first, just a few times. And then we'll go a little faster. So we are creating more activation in the blood and the channels of energy in the body, which activate also our organs. So keep going a few times like that. Perhaps a little faster each time. A few more. Don't force it, just let the legs go in and out a few times. We're also creating rotation for the hip joint. Good, and then release, take a deep breath in, and a deep breath out. Good, then from here, we are going to bend the knees, roll over to the side, and I'm going to come up for a moment to show you how we are going to set up the next part. So I'm going to take a pillow. I have like a long, kind of long and small bolster, so I'm going to use that. But if you have a pillow at home, it can be completely fine. And if you don't, you can, I'm keeping the blanket that I have on my mat, but you could take a blanket and roll it and use it a little bit compacted, so you use it as a bolster. And I'm going to place my hip on top of it so I can go to the side. The belt, I'm going to keep it close by because I'm going to use it in a little, okay? So I'll catch it when we need it. But I'm going to set one hip down on it. I put my right hip, but you can put whichever you want. I'll try to guide without the right and left. And from here, we are going to lie onto the side. And the underarm will be my support for the head. If you need a block there or a pillow or something else, please add it. And for me, I'm keeping my legs extended, but if you need your under leg to be bent so you feel more stable and you don't feel like you're falling over, you can of course do that as well, okay? First thing that we are going to do here is to extend through the legs, or like I said, one bend and the upper leg extended. And we are going to bring the aerial arm all the way up and over. And with the underhand, I'm going to hold the wrist and I'm going to pull. So we stretch that upper side in the body, and that same upper side, I'm pushing through the heel as I'm extending the arm opposite way. Okay, if you want here, you can add a little bit of wrist movement in that upper arm, upper hand. So you create a little bit more toning, right, of the wrist. And we activate the joints. Good, one more breath. And then we release that, and that upper leg, I'm going to bend it and I'm going to put it behind the under leg. So if the under leg is extended, it will look like this, right? So I have my back, my upper leg with the knee bent and the foot behind, and you can keep the upper arm over the head or just bring it in front for extra support. What I'm going to do here is pretty simple. I'm going to let that back knee drop over to the leg that it's extended or in front, and then I'm going to let that knee go back towards the wall behind me. I'm not coming to supine, so turning all the way. I'm just letting the knee go back a few inches, and then I'm letting the knee again drop into the leg. And again, I'm opening up that knee towards the back, and then coming back. We'll do 3 more like this. Towards the back, let that knee open, and then return. Soft and steady breath. Remembering the mantra, breathing in, we calm the body. Breathing out, we calm the mind to give us balance and peace. Okay, last one here. Good, and now I'm going to reopen that knee so it's up and vertical. I'm sending it back, and let the upper arm go up and over. And now, yes, I'm coming more towards supine for a moment, letting that knee that it's behind drop. Good, and then I'm returning towards the original shape. Now from here, I'm going to bend that upper knee, and I'm going to catch my belt so we can use it here. I have a loop made already, but if you don't have, you don't need. Just see if you can put that belt onto that foot. And I'm sending the belt all the way towards the heel, so if you can do that, you do that. And from here, I'm catching the belt, right, that loop, so I can hold and I can send the leg up. So I'm pressing onto the side that it's grounded onto the floor or the mat, so I can create more stability there. And I'm going to push through the heel that is on the belt to extend the inner leg and create more activation there into the inner line of the leg. So both inner legs are super active. And if you feel like your hips or your glutes are, or backbones, I'm going to say, are going back, see if you can squeeze them towards the front towards your camera, right? Or towards the screen. So then we are pushing through the heel that it's an aerial. I'm also trying to push through the heel that it's on the floor and extending there. A lot of side body opening and activating organs. One more breath. Good. And then slowly releasing, bending that knee, letting the leg come down. Good. To switch sides, if you want, you can go over onto your belly or onto your back and switch sides. I'm going to go the other way so you can see me again. And now I'm going to put the opposite hip on top of that support, that pillow or rolled blanket. And I'm going to come onto the other side. I'm using the arm to support my head. I'm going to keep the belt close by for when I need it. Okay, so then we are here on this side. And like I said, also, you can bend the under leg if you need. If you don't need it, no, it's fine. And then I'm extending the upper leg. I'm bringing the aerial arm up and over. With the underhand, I'm going to hold that wrist or upper forearm, sorry. And then from there, you can take a few circles with that wrist, and I'm trying to push through the upper heel, again creating that stretch like when we are standing and we try to stretch one side. And if the underlay is also extended, of course, you get both sides with a little bit more activation there. Good. Once you're done with a few cycles with that wrist and extending the upper side, then you can bring that upper arm in front of you for support if you want. And we are going to bend the upper leg and put that foot behind, okay? Same as we did before, 5 times. We're going to let that knee drop towards the front and then send it towards the wall you have behind. And then again, dropping and letting that leg lift and open up to the back side. 3 more. Stay connected to your breath. This is an opportunity to create a connection with the sensations in your body. We usually are a lot in our brains, in our mind, and we think things in an intellectual way. I want you to try and get a little bit down from there towards the field of sensation, okay? Good. On the last one, we bring that knee back towards the wall behind and we take the upper arm all the way to the other side. Let that knee drop. It's like a tree pose again. I'm supine. And then we are returning back to that side shape, okay? And now I'm going to use my belt again one more time. We call this shape Anantasana. I'm going to put that belt again onto my foot and catch the belt. You can always keep your knee bent if you feel a lot of pulling in the hamstring or if you have a tight hip, right, and it doesn't feel good. So I'm going to try and extend through the under leg. That will be a little bit more unstable. So if you feel that you're not used to this shape and you're kind of like falling over, bend the under knee. That will give you more support. press the hip that it's onto your bolster or blanket or pillow, press it down there so you can also have more stability to push that upper leg up towards the ceiling. Rest the head onto your arm or any extra support if you need it, and try to really feel the activation of that inner leg. Now, if you feel like your butt is going further back too far, see if you can squeeze the sitting bones towards one another, towards the front of your mat, and keep pushing through that upper heel. A few breaths. One more. Good, and then slowly release. Take that belt to the side. Now I'm going to drop to supine again, and I'm going to let that support be under the hips. So now I have that support, let's say, under the pelvis. And what we're going to do here, I'm going to give you two options. Option number one, if your lower back is sensitive and you tend to have lower back pain, you're going to keep your knees bent, okay? I'll show you this, and then I'll show the second version of this. I'm going to send the arms up overhead and hold opposite elbows to stretch my arms up towards the back of the room or towards the furniture you have behind you. And if you are okay here and this feels okay, this is already a little bit of a back bend. So if this feels like it's enough, you stay here. If you're okay extending the legs without lower back pain or sensitivity there, then you extend through the legs and you push through the heels, and at the same time, my elbows are moving away from my waist, okay? A few breaths. One more, lengthen the sides. Feel that stretch happening from your hips down and up. And then slowly release the arms. Bend the knees so you can place again your feet on the mat, and lift your pelvis just a smidge so you can take that support out to the side and return with your pelvis down. Okay, cool. Now from here, we are going to very gently bring the knees towards the chest and rock a little bit from side to side. Good, just giving a short massage into the lower back. Good, and then we are going to roll over to one side, come up, and don't take your blanket away yet because we're going to use it a little more, and then yes, we'll take it out. So now we are going to come onto our bellies, and I'm just going to lie down with my legs extended, and I'm starting with the tops of my feet down on my mat. I have my elbows pressing onto the mat, and my forearms are right in front of my chest. My elbows, they don't need to be right under the shoulders. I actually have the elbows a little wider, and for me, so you can understand my voice and you can hear me, I'm not going to put my head down so I can be more clear, but you can put the forehead down in your forearms if that feels comfortable, and stay there, okay? What we are going to do here first is stay for a couple of breaths with the forehead down, and just feel the stretch of the body lengthening through the legs. A few breaths here. Now we are in a different position. Before we were facing up, so now we are belly down. Notice the organs there, and I just want you to breathe into the abdomen, and notice how that breath is expanding, right? The sensation of pushing your blanket or your mat with your belly. And then with this, see if you have the opportunity here, the chance to send the breath a little further to other places. So maybe that breath expands up towards the back of your pelvis. Maybe you are able to send it towards the hips. Maybe you feel it going a little further down into the pelvis or towards your groins. So we really bring the chance to our physical bodies to become more spacious. And this breath is like water. It slides and it flows and it goes into all parts that you can access or think of. One more breath like that. And then slowly lifting the head just for a moment. We are going to tuck the toes and walk the toes as much as you can towards your pelvis. And from here, pressing into the forearms and the elbows, we are going to inhale and lift the sternum, draw the navel in and up. And with the exhale, you reset the tops of the feet down and you bring the forehead down. Again, several repetitions. Inhaling, we tuck the toes, draw the navel in and up, push the floor away, and lift through the sternum. Exhale, sliding down again. Two more. Inhaling, tucking the toes, pushing the floor, lifting the sides, shoulders back. Exhale. And last one. Inhaling. Exhale. Good. You can stay here with the, again, like I said, the forehead onto the forearms or just onto your palms. And from here, again, with the idea of the flow, we breathe and we're going to bring one knee towards the elbow. Doesn't matter which one. I started with the one closest to the screen. And then we slide that leg back down. And then again, the opposite leg goes up. It's a little bit like a frog swimming and then returning. And again, bringing that knee up towards the elbow and then resetting. Knee towards the elbow, opposite side and back. One more each side. Lifting without forcing too much, sliding back down. And the last one. Good. Take a deep breath in. Exhale here. And then bring your hands under the shoulders. Pushing gently, we'll come up into the hands and knees for a moment. In this one, we are going to take 3 times the cat-cow. Inhaling, we arch, sitting bones go up, shoulder blades down. Exhaling, drawing navel in, chin towards the chest. And again, inhale, keeping the wrists under the shoulders. Exhale, drawing the organs up and in. One more, inhale. And exhale. Good, then we come to the neutral, and now we are going to create what it's called a little bit of belly dancing. What do I mean by this is that I'm now going to activate more from my abdomen and also from my lower ribs, and I'm going to create kind of like the idea of the cat-cow, but with more of a circular movement. So I'm bringing my belly and my ribs into my body, and then I'm going to let them slide to the side and then drop them down towards the center of the mat and then bring them to the other side, opposite one, and then draw everything in again. So this one looks like the cat, right? So I'm drawing everything up, then sending it to the side, then dropping, opposite side and up, and one more this same side. Draw everything in, take it to the side, dropping towards the center, and back up, back to the center. Now I'm doing 3 to the other side. Belly in, everything is held in. I'm going to the side, then like a bag of water, let it drop, bringing it to the opposite side, back in, and again, side, drop like a bag of water, let it all fall, let it come to the side, and draw everything in. Last one. Back to center, Good. And from here, I'm going to now come onto my forearms. And from my forearms, I'm keeping the hips over the knees. If you want, you can put the palms together or keep the palms just on your mat. We're going to slide a little. So what I'm going to do is either, like I said, palms together or not, I'm going to slide out an arch. And then when I'm coming back, I'm almost coming towards a child's pose, but I'm rounding and letting my nose come towards my legs. And then again, I'm sliding out and arching, a little bit like the cow again. And with the exhale, draw everything in and round. Two more, inhaling and exhale. Last one, inhale, sliding, and exhale. Gonna stay here for a moment. You can use your forearms or your arms, resting the belly on top of your thighs. Notice sensations in the body. So go there, don't think them too much, just pick up sensations. Good, and then slowly, let's come up when you feel ready. And now, yes, we are going to take our blanket out to the side. We may use it again later, same as the other props. And now we'll return to that tabletop so we can come into our first downward facing dog, okay? So I'm going to spin, let's say, or pivot my hands just like half an inch out towards the sides of my mat. Make sure that the base of my thumbs are grounded. Then I'm moving my knees a few inches behind the hips, tucking the toes. I'm going up, 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 setting myself into that dog pose, pushing through my hands to lengthen and activate my arms a little bit more. And then keep the knees bent just for a moment or two here, feeling a little bit of an arch in the lower back, letting the chest come towards your thighs, letting the nape of your neck lengthen, the head drop. Take a breath here. Good, and then slowly let the heels start to come down and back towards the end of your mat. Once you do that, feel the sensations in your hips, in the hamstrings. If you feel like the legs feel too tight here, rebend the knees, let the neck relax, like I said before, and just try to create more of the length through the side body, keeping the chest broad, drawing the navel in and up, and trying to calm your ribs down towards your hips. Good, from here, bring the feet a little closer to each other. I'm going to say inner hip distance apart, and then we slowly roll towards the plank. And we exhale towards the down dog. Good, two more. Slowly inhale, coming towards the plank. Firm your shoulder blades, lengthen through the crown of the head, tone the thighs, back to down dog. One more, inhaling. And exhale. Good. Now here I'm going to say, bring your feet now to touch. So bring them towards each other until the inner feet are touching. And we are going to bend the knees and try to make the shins parallel to the floor as much as you can, of course. And from here, I'm going to keep pushing the mat away. It's almost like if you're doing the chair pose, but in a down dog. So I'm bending the knees, I'm sending my sitting bones low. My shins are parallel to the floor and I'm pushing the mat away. Okay, this will fire your quads, and then slowly re-extend. We'll repeat this a couple of times. And then again, shins parallel to the floor, push the floor away, and back towards down dog. One more, bending the knees, coming a little lower, back to down dog. Good, and then slowly walk your hands back towards your feet. Good. Bend the knees if you need. Drop the torso over the legs. Relax the neck and the head. Just a moment here. If you need the blocks in front of you, take them there for support. Good. And then we'll take the hands into the hips. Slowly draw the navel in and up. Roll the shoulders back. Make the outer edges of your feet grounded and the inner heels grounded to press and come up into standing. Awesome. Okay, good. We are here standing. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. Good. From here, we are going to take the length of the mat for another posture. And in this one, I want you to either have the same pillow that you had before, or the blanket that you had, or a block for support. We are going to use it in a moment. I'll show you how, okay? First thing that we're going to do here is to get the legs to be wide. I'm going to mirror you guys, so we are facing possibly each other. And my feet are wide and my toes are slightly in and my heels are slightly out. So I have to have a stable support, right? A stable standing posture. So don't go extremely wide. So you can stand and have your toes pointing in a little, okay? From here, we are going to roll the shoulders back and down. Good, take a deep breath in and out. We lengthen from the base of the pelvic floor up towards the crown of the head. Good, and then we're going to inhale here, send the arms up. Good, with the exhale, we lengthen and we start folding, using the hip joints to fold and come down towards the floor. Now what I want us to do here is to have a support under the head. So you're going to bring your pillow, your blocks, or anything that you have to make it as high as you need. And I'm going to show you that after you have your head supported, I want the arms to go inside the legs with the palms facing up. So that's what I'm going to be doing here. I put a support under the head, and then I'm sending my arms back, pressing to the outer edges of your feet, lift through the inner arches, tone the inner legs, and feel the activation there through the inner legs. Relaxing the neck and the head. So your neck should not be compressed. If it is feeling like it's compressed, that means that the support that you have might be too high, okay? So you make it as flat or as high as you need, so you feel like there is a length and an opportunity to open up to the back of the neck, okay? We stay here for a few more breaths. Now get connected again to your breath. So find that rhythm, slow like water flowing without any rush. One more full cycle. And then slowly start bringing your hands back towards the front where your head is, so you can push up. You may want to still have a support here for the next thing, or maybe not. I'm going to show you. So we are going to start with the left side for you guys. So we are going to bend the left knee, and I'm going to also use my left hand on top of that knee. Now my right hand is at the center and down, but if that hand for you is not touching the floor or the mat, then you'll put the block for extra support or a pillow or anything there, okay? So I have one hand down, one into the same side knee, and with that hand, I'm pushing a little bit of that knee out to the side as I'm letting myself drop the left sitting bone down and create a twist. So you see how I'm pushing into the knee, so I can also bring my chest and my belly towards the left. Inhale here, and exhale. Notice if your hips are going up and back. You see how I'm showing that that can happen? Try to not let that happen. Let the hips come down, drop, and send that left knee out, okay, towards the wall behind you. Good, and then again, that twist. Good, then we slowly extend that left leg. We bring the left hand to the side where the right one was, and now I'm going to switch, bending the opposite knee, same hand going in. I use the other hand to help me for the twist and pushing into the outer edge of the opposite foot. And then I'm going to try and drop the hips, pushing that right knee back and bringing belly and chest towards that side. Notice the breath, activation through the legs. We are igniting a lot of release in the organs. Good, and then slowly extend that right leg, bring the hands back towards the center. Walk your feet or heel toe your feet towards each other. Good, and then from there, when you have your feet a little closer, bring the hands again to the hips, lengthen the spine, and we come all the way up. Good, and we release. Super. Nice. From here, again from the standing posture, if you want to have a block or a support close by, have it there. We are going to widen the legs again. This time, I'm going to send the left foot towards the top of the mat. And if you can see, my right foot is turned in. Okay, so we come here. We let the sitting bones again move towards each other, opening the front of the pelvis. Good, take a breath here. Then we extend through the arms. Good. And now keeping the hips firm into the center of the body and the sacrum long, I'm going to bend that left knee. So we are coming towards the warrior two. Just for a moment here, because really I'm going somewhere else. But from here, we're going to try and drop that left sitting bone, bring the glutes towards each other, lift through the sides. Good, and now a couple of options. That left arm can come inside the foot and touch down, or you can put a block there, or you can use the forearm into the thigh, okay? Once you get into the version that it's good for you, I want the opposite arm straight up. And we're going to work with the power of the back foot, lifting that inner arch and trying to spread the toes, even though arch and toes, sometimes it's hard to connect them both at the same time, and see if you can keep that as you bend the front knee a little more. Good. Extend through the upper arm and spin the belly and the chest up towards the skies. One more breath. Good. The front knee is moving back towards the wall you have behind you, and that same side sitting bone is dropping. So your left sitting bone should be falling or coming down towards the floor. And now I'm going to bring that upper arm over to create that angle or side angle, right, in the whole right side of the body. Keep spinning belly and chest up. One more breath. Good, then slowly keep the power into the legs to return. Straighten the front leg, bring the arms down. Good, take the left foot in and we take the right foot out. Good, now from here, again, we power the back foot. We stay center, so it's heel to arch, more or less there, right, from front to back. Extend the arms. Good. Feel stable through the feet. Activate that back foot by lifting the inner arch and spreading the toes, and then we bend the right knee. Good. Now again, the hips will want to usually go back and up. We are going to try and bring the glutes towards the front of the pelvis, drop that front hip, and bend that front knee a little more. Good. From here, we lengthen, either forearm to the thigh or down to the floor, opposite arm up to the skies. Good. Once you get there, notice the tendency of the body to fight that fold in the front, right? So my body wants to stay tall, but what I want to do is to really activate my groins to go into the psoas muscle. So I want to let that right sitting bone drop, widening that right thigh and sending it back towards the wall behind me. Belly and chest moving up towards the ceiling. Calm breath. Good, and then we add the side opening with the arm coming over, and I'm still trying to send that belly up. Good, 2 more breaths. Good, then slowly pushing into the feet to come up, straighten the front leg, turn the right foot in, and then heel toe the feet for a moment, and come up to standing. Good, take a deep breath in, and exhale. Good, now I'm going to take a block, and I'm going to put it tall. I'm going to show you, it's right there at the center. And I'm going to use it mainly as a reference. It's not that I really have to use it, but I want to have it as a reference to come with the feet together towards the chair pose. So we're going to imagine, you can even try, like, and go and sit there on your block for a second. It's actually a good practice. And from here, let's say, if you're sitting like I'm going to do, we're going to try and lift into the chair pose. So I know that I have that place, and I want to stay as low as I can. And I'm going to try, it's like what we did in the down dog in the beginning. I'm going to try and go like almost like sitting there and then coming a little further up. And then go back to sit towards the block and then back up. One more, towards the block and then back up. And then with the next inhalation, coming all the way to standing. Exhaling and releasing. Good. Again, super. So now we are going to take that block out to the side, but we are going to keep it closed for the next shapes if we need it. And we are going to come onto the mat, and we are going to open up through the legs. So it's a wide leg sit. Good. Okay. Now from here, once you get there, see if you can keep your knees pointing up towards the ceiling. Push through your heels. And now we're going to do a little test or a little exercise. I want you to try and let your groins soften back and down. It's almost like if you are creating that cat shape. You're rounding a little and the groins become soft. So let that happen. And then squeeze the glutes and the hips into one another and feel how that area hardens a little bit more, right? So we are squeezing and bringing it forward. And then again, soften the groins, let yourself sit a little back, and then push from the glutes and the sitting bones into the pelvis to lengthen more. One more. Let the groins soften, and then we re-extend. Good, we are going to stay with that one, with the second version. So we squeeze the glutes, we extend, and the groins are a little harder, right? So we are going to keep that. Bring the hands behind, lengthen the sides, roll the shoulders back. Good, and lift through the sternum. A few breaths. One more. Good. And then keeping that lift from the bottom of the pelvic floor up towards the crown of the head, we are going to try and bring the hands in front and sit tall. So now instead of the support behind, we are trying to stay tall. There's a little bit more engagement in the core in the sense of having to create that lift. And I want you to even feel a little bit of the lower back moving into your body, like if you want to arch the lower back. Okay, let's see if we can keep that. And of course you can add support if you want to come a little further forward and maybe place your forearms onto your pillow or a block or anything like that. I'm not going 100%, you can see, right? I'm just trying to, because when I do, if I push too hard, you can notice your feet and your legs, they are going to start opening back, like the toes are going to start pointing back or doing funky things. I want you to try and keep the knees and the toes pointing up, okay? So I'm not going so far. I'm trying to extend from the groins to the inner heels. And we stay here for a few breaths. Breathing in, I calm the body. Breathing out, I bring peace to the mind. May we all be balanced. May we all find peace. One more full cycle. And then we slowly return, coming back to the neutral seat. Use your hands to bring the knees towards each other. Good. I'm going to stay here and I'm going to use, I mean, not here really, but I'm going to stay in the seat, but use the block to support the seat for a twist. So if you have a block or the pillow or something to elevate yourself, just use it. I'm sitting on top. I have both my knees close to the chest, my heels close to the block or the sitting bones. And I didn't say, but I'm going to show, you may need perhaps a little extra support behind you because we're elevated and sometimes the hand doesn't get to touch behind, okay? So if you need an extra pillow or blanket behind, put it there. Okay, now from here, I'm going to start to this side so we all go together. Your left hand is right next to you. So it's a little bit next or behind, and like I said, you can use the support there. And with the other hand, with the other arm, the right one, I'm going to come and hug the left knee. So you can have actually two options here. We can hug the knee or cross the elbow over if that feels okay for you, okay? This one, of course, will feel a little deeper of a twist. So pick the one that feels comfortable, but lift through the abdomen. Use the support that you have behind you to help you lift, and then bring the belly and the chest towards the left. So belly and chest will go to the left, but I want to invite you to bring your chin to the right. So we are doing different things in the whole spine, right? So the belly, the chest, they are turning to the left. I'm softening the shoulders. The chin stays to the right. One more. Good, then we return slowly with the trunk towards the center, and I'm going to go the other way, you know what's coming. Now I'm going to put the right hand to the support or the floor behind me. I still have my knees close by, and I'm going to bring that left arm to either hug the right knee or cross the elbow to the other side. And from there, the one that feels appropriate, lift through the spine, bring the belly, the organs, the chest towards the right, soften the shoulders. Once you get there, find your breath, bring the chin to the left. Relaxing the facial muscles. Invite from the top of the head, the skin to start melting down towards your outer ears. From there down to your cheeks and the chin becoming heavy. One more breath. And then we return with the trunk, with the head to center. Good, release both arms. Good, okay, let's get out of that support. I'm coming back into my mat. Good, and I'm going to keep it close by for the last things. And coming onto the back, lying down. Good. Take a moment here. Deep breath in. Exhale, release. Good. And then another chance to bring the block again underneath the pelvis, medium flat, the height that feels appropriate for you. This time we are going to use it for a cooling inversion. So if you have the wall and you want to use the wall to put your legs up, that's great. If you don't have a wall close by or you want to use this version, just make the shoulders move away from your ears, a little bit of tucking the shoulder blades towards each other. Then I'm going to bend one knee to the chest and the other one to send the legs up towards the skies. Good, we'll stay here. I'm timing it, so we'll stay here for a minute, 60 seconds. Creating a downward energy and inviting the breath to slow down again as we move towards the end of the journey. A few more seconds to go. One more full breath. Good, and then we'll slowly bend the knees. Bring the feet down onto your mat. Good. Pick up your hips just a few inches so you can take the block or the support out to the side. Good. Gentle hug of the knees into the chest, rolling a little bit from side to side. You can choose if you want to take a happy baby here, bringing the knees towards the armpits as you press through your feet, maybe swinging from side to side. Good, and then we'll hug both knees again into the chest, cactus arms or T-letter if you have the space. Let both knees drop to one side. Relax the shoulders. Invite the chin to come towards the opposite side of the legs. And we take this supine twist here just for a few breaths. Inviting the back of the skull to drop, the eyeballs to start receding again towards the end of the head. And then bring your legs slowly back towards the center. And when you're ready, you can shift a little bit of the hips if you need, move the knees to the opposite side, dropping into that second twist, chin coming towards the opposite side of the legs. Your structure starts dropping back again, moving towards the pause as we end the journey. Give yourself one more breath before returning from that spinal twist back to the center. And then as you return, if you want to add the bolster or pillow or blanket under your legs or knees to have a little bit more release in the lower back, or any support that you want to use for Shavasana, that's where we are going towards. And if you usually have glasses, perhaps you can take them off for this moment to also give more rest to the brain. We have the time here to return to Earth.